Hello there, fanatics. Welcome to another video talking about Lord of the Rings. So as the title of this says, this is going to kind of be a video for newer folks getting into the game. And we're going to talk today about where can you find armies and the books you need to play them. So this is a topic that I've seen across many of the different community pages that I'm on out there, that new players like, hey, I'm new to the game and I've been looking, but I'm looking for this army, but I'm not sure exactly what book I need. So while I can say that I'm probably not going to get everything in this video, this should help give folks who are new to it, hopefully you listening are one of them, new to the game, and give you an idea of what books you need to buy and what you're looking for. So we're going to dive right into it. There are two main books that have the profiles. One is the Armies of the Lord of the Rings, and one is the Armies of the Hobbit. Now, those books are kind of self-explanatory for what you're going to find in them. Armies that you saw from the Lord of the Rings movies or that are in the books and the appendices are going to be in the Armies of the Lord of the Rings books. Stuff like Numenor, Minas Tirith, Rohan, Rivendell, Lothlorien. You know, even as far as saying Fangor and the Misty Mountains, which include the Eagles. All right, that's just the good side. For the evil side, you have things like Mordor, Angmar, Isengard, Moria, and Easterlings, Serpent Horde, which is Harad, Far Harad, which is the Mumox, and then Corsairs as well. So those are just a few of them. Those aren't everything, but if you're looking for that sort of army, that's where you're going to primarily find the profiles that you need to play and play those armies. All right, moving on from there, we have, of course, the other one I mentioned, which is the Armies of the Hobbit. And those are going to cover things like Halls of Thranduil, Radagast's Alliance, which is Radagast, and he can be with, I think, the Wizards, I think the White Council, maybe, but no, the White Council is their own thing. But Radagast's Alliance is going to be like him teamed up with Eagles and Beorn. There we go. I was like, I know there's another big. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Yeah, Beorn is part of Radagast's Alliance. So if you like playing with a big bear, he's actually pretty badass too. I'm not going to say. But things like Army of Thror, Iron Hills, Erebor Reclaimed, Dale, Lake Town, those are all in there. All right, and then you have Azog's Legion, Azog's Hunters, Dark Powers of Dol Guldur, where you can get the Necromancer, and then Goblin Town and other things as well, like the Smaug has his own army called the Desolater of the North, which is pretty cool. So that's kind of your two main books. Now, if you're looking for something other than to just play the army, there are supplements out, and folks are probably going, okay, so the books are out there, but what good are the supplements? Well, the supplements introduced us to Legendary Legions, and in my opinion, I think Legendary Legions are one of the coolest things that they brought out. There are folks out there that can't stand them just due to the fact that they do get a bit of a power creep because there's cool buffs, but Legendary Legions are designed to be thematic armies based off of specific scenes that we see not only in the movies, but also from the book, which is great. One of my favorite, I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to trying it out soon, is the Grey Company. We don't see the Grey Company in the movies. However, it is its own chapter and its own thing in the books, and it is important to remember to take a look at them and include them in this. So they have their own thing, their own Legendary Legion, and it's pretty cool. There are other ones. My favorite, okay, so this is my personal favorite, is Riders of Théoden. All right, if you're going to play a Rohan army, in my opinion, Riders of Théoden is the best way to play a Rohan army. If you want all mounted, there is ways to play Rohan spam, but if you're looking at playing Rohan, and Rohan is, we know it, Horse Lords, they're the home of Horse Lords, the best way to get as many buffs as you possibly can for that army, in my opinion, is the Riders of Théoden. So these expansion supplements have introduced us to Legendary Legions, and I think they're amazing. So far, we have 4 of them. Gondor at War, Scouring of the Shire, War in Rohan, and Quest of the Ringbearer. And then, of course, the newest one that is kind of in the works. It's been released, but it seems like it's kind of hit or miss for who's getting their deliveries as of this posted date, or recording date, I should say, not posting date. But as of this recording date, what is it? It's the Fall of the Necromancer. And there's no new profiles in that. But let me explain what I mean by that. The great thing about these supplements is that there has been a huge release of little extra profiles that are in it. What do I mean by that? Well, a model that was not included in the Armies of the Lord of the Rings, for the Rohan army specifically, was Elfhelm. However, Tolkien readers who have read Return of the King know that Elfhelm was very important to Dernhelm, aka Eowyn's, success in being able to ride along and go to the Battle of the Pelennor Fields. And not only that, but Dernhelm is in the Gondor at War supplement as well. So they introduced these profiles as well as these legendary legions. So to date, the sparsest one is kind of the Scouring of the Shire. That was definitely one of those hit or miss ones, I think. I love the fact that they did it because there's a lot of really thematic narrative scenarios in there. And I'm one of the people who play the game less for the I'm going to kick your ass and take your name and then go get a podium to, yeah, this is a really thematic army and you're playing a really thematic army and it's thematic because it matched up in the movies. Let's see if we can relive these movies. So, or books, relive the scene from the books, even better. So I really think that was kind of where they were going with the Scouring of the Shire with that. Is it doesn't have so many legendary, it's only got 2 legendary legions. One for the Hobbits, and then one for Sharky rogues. It had a lot of stuff in it, though, when it came to the Shire. The Shire, for those who have never played it before, definitely got a huge debuff in this scenario. They went down to like 18-inch bows. The heroes got in. You couldn't take certain heroes. So, like, we have my buddy Joe, who's been on the channel. If you haven't seen him, go check out some of the bat reps. Him and I have played against each other. We did the recent run, Kinstrife. He played Rohan. I played Minas Tirith. He's a big Hobbit fan. He's a big Shire fan. Loves playing them. Unfortunately, in this current edition, you can't really play them as well as they used to be pure. He used to play them pure, and it was cool because before you could take like Boror or Took and then like an Aragorn allied in and so on and so forth, and it had a lot of ability to take pieces that weren't there. Now with the historical, convenient, and impossible allies matrix changing that around, it does make it much more thematic, which is again a cool thing about these legendary legions. The game has definitely become much more thematic, and there's still folks who break that. Unfortunately, you're gonna always have those power gamers, but it is much more thematic, and they did a good job putting in debuffs for armies that go ahead and be like, okay, these 2 forces could never possibly join together because they're 2 different ages, i.e. second age, third age. Or this guy can't be in the same army with this guy, i.e. Aragorn Elisar being in the same army with Boromir, Captain of the White Tower, because Boromir was dead. He was dead for a while there before Aragorn became Elisar. So stuff like that, it's really it's good for the game. But back on the topic at hand. So if you're looking for certain things, Gondor at War brought us legendary legions. And there were 8 in there. There were 5 for good. We have the Rangers of Ithilien, Grey Company, Return of the King, Riders of Theoden, Men of the West. And then on the evil side, you have Army of Gothmog, Grand Army of the South, and the Black Gate opens. So we got a slew of new profiles for Minas Tirith, for Rohan. I'm trying to think who else. Mordor got some because we got Gurith and Gothmog's Enforcer, plus some other Zagdush and the other guy. I can't think of what the other guy's name is. Was it Goroth? Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. But anyway, so that's where you'll find that. So if you're looking to play like one of those armies, then you're going to want to pick up, if you want to play, say, the Riders of Theoden, you're going to want to go ahead and pick up the Lord of the Rings Armies of the Lord of the Rings book, and then the Gondor at War book, okay? If you're looking to play the Shire, if you really love the idea of playing the Shire and playing Hobbits, then the Defenders of the Shire, Legendary Legion, and Scouring of the Shire might be something that you really like. Plus, there's a whole lot of profiles that came out for the Shire. They got so many. I mean, I think Farmer Cotton got put in there. Rosie Cotton got put in there. They added 2 or 3 different sheriff leaders. Just a whole bunch of stuff. And like one of my favorite things of all is there's the trap guy. I don't even remember who he is, but he can lay traps, and he can really mess up your opponent's ability to move. So if you're looking for something like that, you would need the Scouring of the Shire book, and then of course the Armies of the Lord of the Rings. So I'm just going to touch on this real quick. There has not, okay, I guess it's not has not, because now there is. With the Fall of the Necromancer supplement, it is going to be the first book that gives you Legendary Legions for the Hobbit era models. So if you're looking to get Hobbit era models in a Legendary Legion, then the Fall of the Necromancer is where you want to go. And I know that they have one for the Mirkwood Rangers, they have one for Azog's Legion, and then they have one for I think Dark Powers has one as too. I think there's 4, but I can't remember exactly from what I've read. I know those 3 for certain. But oh yeah, there's a Vanquishers one. Yeah, there's a Vanquishers of the Necromancer. I forgot about that one. There you go. So basically a White Council. A White Council Legendary Legion. So Warren Rohan brought us a lot of really good stuff. It literally built an army in Dunlin. Dunlin used to just be part of Rohan. Not Rohan. Gosh, I'm sucking here. Used to be part of Isengard. And the Warren Rohan book really made them their own army. They got their own Legendary Legion, which is really cool. And that's the Army of Dunlin. It literally is its own Legendary Legion. But they got 3 named heroes added in. A cavalry troop, a flying troop for special ability, and a elite troop. So pretty good army. I've actually played it. I had an Army of Dunlin, and I played it in an event, and I did terrible. It's got some flaws, and a couple of the armies I played against were perfect foils for it. But it's really, really fun. I no longer have that army, and sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I still had that army. But then when I'm thinking about it, it's like, it's just hard to play with. I didn't do so bad with it. There's actually a number of battle reports that we did for the LTR SBG team channel. If you're not a fan of that, go check them out. That was where I got my start for YouTube videoing, and now I've kind of branched into my own channel. But I still bounce back with them and help out those 2 guys, Dan and Joe, because they help me out. So naturally, we take care of each other. But anyway, we did several of the narrative scenarios from the Warren Rohan book, and I scored pretty well in, I think we did 3 of them. I think I won all 3 games. Or I might have had a draw on the first one, and I won the other 2 games pretty handily. So Dunlin's not weak at all. Don't get me wrong. They just matched up really well in those Rohan scenarios because they have hatred for Rohan, which really helped me for wounding things. But that is a really cool army. And then some other things we got. We got Ugluk Scouts for a Legendary Legion, Wolves of Isengard, which is literally a what do they call it? Warg Rider Legendary Legion around Sharku, which is pretty cool. From the scene in the 2 Towers when the Wargs attack them as they're caravanning to Helm's Deep. So that's really cool to have a Helm's Deep for, or not Helm's Deep, I'm sorry, a Legendary Legion for. And then they have a Assault on Helm's Deep Legendary Legion, which is no named heroes, but an Uruk-hai commander who gets buffed up, which is cool. And then just a lot of spam. You can take a whole bunch of captains and warriors, like the Ballista and what's the other one? The Demolition Team. I think they get some buffs, but a lot of people just take the Ballista because it becomes much better, much better. And then on the good side for Rohan, you get Thaedred's Guard. So if you're a big fan of Thaedred, he's actually a tank in this army. I think he's a really great troop killer, medium tier hero killer. I wouldn't go send him against like Eomers and Aragorns and Elisars and Elrons and Gothmogs. I wouldn't send him against a Gothmog. But for medium tier heroes that can't strike, I think he's a great piece for going and killing them. He is one of those ones you got to be careful for. Little side tip if you play them, because once he starts attacking things, he has to charge from there on out. So there's no getting him out of there. And a lot of these named Legendary Legions, like Ugluk Scouts, the Army of Gothmog, Thaedred's Riders, the Riders of Théoden, Thaedred's Guard, I'm sorry. Those named heroes are usually your leader. And of those 4 I just named, Ugluk, Gothmog, Théoden, and Thédred, Gothmog's probably the best one. He's the only one with a base 3 attack, 3 wound profile, because Ugluk's a 2/2, Thédred's a 3/2, and Théoden's a 2/2. So you got to be careful of that. You got Riders of Eomer, which is really cool. That's a army, Legendary Legion, from when Eomer and Gandalf from the movies come riding down the slopes with the sun at their back. So it's pretty cool. And then this book actually introduced us to Helm Hammerhand, which is a profile that came out in, I think it's War the Ring. Yeah, that sounds right. War the Ring. War the Ring. And he was never seen from again after War the Ring, which is too sad. But now that he has been re-released, he even got his own Legendary Legion. Now, of course, it's a typical thing, like I said, because of the fact that they have gone ahead and made it much more thematic. If you take Helm, you can't take any other named heroes. So there is that going on. So it makes sense, though. But yeah, so if you're looking to play like an army or one of those Legendary Legions, then you obviously need the Warren Rohan book, and you also need the Armies of the Lord of the Rings. So yeah, I know it's kind of like, dude, you keep telling me all these things I need to buy. There's a lot of armies out there where you don't need to buy a second book. Easterlings, they have no upgrades yet, so you can just buy that. Khan, nothing, you're good. Moria, nothing, Moria, okay, that's hit or miss, because the Quest of the Ringbearer actually gave Moria a Legendary Legion, and that was the Depths of Moria, which really helps power up the Belrog. So if you're kind of like that, then yeah. Angmar doesn't have anything else really added to it. Minas Tirith has a lot. I'm looking at the wrong one. Fiefdoms have had nothing added to it. Dead of Dunharrow, they got one? Yeah, they got one edition with the, what's his name? I can't think of the name. Herald of the Dead. There we go. I couldn't think of it. Herald of the Dead. But Lothlorien, you can go there. Rivendell, you can go there. Arnor, you can go there. The Rangers, if you're a fan of those. Kingdoms of Khazad-dûm, so if you like playing with Sons of Durin, before it used to be Durin's folk, but now it's called Kingdoms of Khazad-dûm. And that can be two different armies in itself. You can do a Durin's army, or you can do one where Balin takes back over, and there's a whole army built around him too in that. It's just a matter of the wording. So I actually plan on doing a Kingdom of Khazad-dûm army review. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned for future videos. But yeah, I think that kind of covers everything. The only one I didn't really hit too big on was Crest of the Ringbearer. There weren't really a lot of profiles added in that one. I think it added, what's the guy's name? Is it Tom? No, it's not Tom. I'm thinking of Tom Bombadil. The innkeeper. I can't even think of his name. The guy who's the innkeeper. See, that's how bad it is, man. I can't even think of it. Anyway, as the innkeeper from the Prancing Pony. Oh man, what is his name? It's gonna kill me. I'm telling you, it's gonna kill me until I figure it out. I don't remember. I really don't remember, and I feel bad for not remembering it. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, he's there. I think I added Bill Fernie. And no, Bill Fernie Bill Fernie came from Scouring the Shire. The Gatesmith guy. So there wasn't really. Oh, and then a couple old guys. So there you go. 2 guys for the Rangers of Ithilien Legendary Legion, which can also be taken with Minas Tirith. So Minas Tirith is one of those armies where, unless you're really looking to play with one of the new guys, I would think that the only new person you need, if I'm building a Minas Tirith list, I'm taking Huron the Tall, Warden of the Keys, because he's just really tanky against. He's a great troop killer. He's only 2 attack base. You put him on a horse, he gets 3 on the charge, so you can charge him in against 3, warrior models, and he's got a hand and a half mastercrafted weapon, so you're always going 2-handed with him to get that +1 to wound, knockdown bonus against infantry. He's just a great infantry killer. And then not only that, but his special ability, which I won't talk about here, is really good for trying to basically stealing or denying your opponent leader kill VPs. But yeah, if you're not looking at that, if you just want to play with like Aragorn, LSR, or like Denethor, Boromir, Faramir, you know, the old guys, old quote unquote, before they released these newer models, that being the older guys being Baragon, Madril, Damrod, Kyrian, Knight of the White Tower. You know, those you can play without buying the Gondor War Book. And even if you do decide to go, like I said, I always take Huron. There's plenty of people out there that are willing to like, hey man, here's the stats for that. Because I definitely believe in, you know, sharing stats where you need to. If the guy just needs one model, I'm not going to say, oh no, I'm not going to give it to you. You have to go buy a $50 book. As I support GW. I fully support GW. Like, I don't even like people who 3D print models. And I know people are going to be listening to this going, what the fuck's wrong with you, dude? So much cheaper. Yeah, you're right, it is cheaper. But, if you start 3D printing everything and stop buying stuff from GW, then they're just going to be like, well, fuck you guys. We're not going to make your stuff anymore. And then the game's going to die. And I think the great thing that GW has really done a good job of since the new edition came out in 2018 is making sure that we have continued supplements coming out to keep the game alive, to keep pulling new people in. So that's pretty much everything I can think about. When it comes to what books you need, where you need to go, I hope this helps out. This is definitely rambled off track a little bit, but I mean that's kind of how I like doing these like talking videos. So I can cover a little bit of everything if I'm not covering a specific point. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this almost 22-minute video. Please subscribe. I've looked at my analytics, and only about 39% of you guys who are viewers are subscribers. Help me out. You know, the more subscribers I have, the better that my videos get circulated. So folks who are new, who are looking for this specific video, can find it out there. So help out your future, you know, teammates, so to speak, if you're going to play doubles, or future opponents, so that they can find the game, and future friends as well, because that's the other thing. That's the biggest thing about this, is you building bonds of fellowship with this game. But until next time, guys, please take care. Help me out, like I said. Smash that like, share, subscribe. Show this to a new player. Show this to a friend. And as always, enjoy your Tolkien Legendarium.